Good afternoon, Good Shepherd. It is the 25th of February, 2026, and we are into the first full week of Lent. And as I was looking through the backgrounds for my Zoom recording, I ran across this one here, dating back to our Lenten days in COVID in 2020. So I thought, well, there's a reminder. Anyway, moving on. Uh, Sunday schedule, pretty much as usual, 7:45 in the chapel, 10:30 in the sanctuary. That service will be live streamed, and children will be in Sunday school starting at 10:20. Between the two services, we'll continue the Faith Forum series that we began last week on the little book Spring in the Desert, accompanied by some wonderful videos and thought-provoking pictures and questions by the authors of the book, A Spring in the Desert. The last discussion was recorded and was sent out on Monday. We'll try and get the sound quality and some of the other things back up to snuff. I don't know what happened that last time, but the main gist is there. There's more information in the e-news, and it looks like we've got one or two books left if you would still like to join us with the books, which are daily meditations, which then feed in or complement the material that we'll talk about on Sundays. After the 10:30 service, the children are invited to go into the sanctuary and work with Anna Branton for a children's sort of choir that we will hear on Christmas Day, or Easter, get my holidays straight here, on Easter. And so between now and Easter, after the service each Sunday, after that 10:30 service each Sunday, there will be a short rehearsal to prepare for Easter. Coming up in a couple of weeks, on the 11th of March, that's a Wednesday, our Faith in Action team will have a program, and I'm just going to read you the little description that you'll also see in the e-news. At a time of ongoing political upheaval, the Faith in Action team invites you to learn more about important bills under consideration in the Colorado legislature and how you can have an impact on the progress of those bills. The evening discussion will highlight bills in areas of focus for the Episcopal Church of Colorado, including creation care, immigration justice, affordable housing, and others. And there will be more information presented there to help you figure out how you might be engaged in that. But I think this is a really helpful and important evening. So I encourage you to come. If you do want to come, please sign up so that the organizers can get enough pizza. It will be a pizza dinner. We'll meet at 6 for pizza, and then the discussion will start at 6:30. So again, sign up for that and engage. Also, in a couple of weeks, that being on the 15th of March, there will be a session brought to you by the Congregational Care Team on sort of an introduction to hospice. And it will be presented by some folks in hospice. You'll see information on this in the e-news as well. But there are a lot of misconceptions about what hospice is, what they do, and it's a timely conversation for all of us as caregivers or as people who are beginning to make plans for the end of life. This is a really good and important discussion to have. So that will be in the chapel after the service on the 15th of March. As I mentioned at the beginning, we are now into Lent, and I was reminded of a wonderful sort of meditation that was written by an author I've mentioned a number of times, Frederick Buechner, who has now died, but a Presbyterian pastor. I think I've got that right. But this wonderful little book called Listening to Your Life, which is a series of meditations for every day of the year. And it just so happened that his meditation for tomorrow, February 26th, is entitled Lent. And so I'm just going to read this and let it close us out today. In many cultures, there is an ancient custom of giving a tenth of each year's income to some holy use. For Christians, To observe the 40 days of Lent is to do the same thing with roughly a tenth of each year's days. After being baptized by John in the River Jordan, Jesus went off alone into the wilderness where he spent 40 days asking himself the question what it meant to be Jesus. During Lent, Christians are supposed to ask one way or another what it means to be themselves. If you had to bet everything you have on whether there is a God or whether there isn't, which side would get your money and why? When you look at your face in the mirror, what do you see in it that you most like? And what do you see in it that you most deplore? If you had only one last message to leave to the handful of people who are most important to you, what would it be in 25 words or less? Of all the things you have done in your life, which is the one you would most like to undo? Which is the one that makes you happiest to remember? Is there any person in the world or any cause that, if circumstances called for it, you would be willing to die for? If this were the last day of your life, what would you do with it? To hear yourself try to answer questions like these is to begin to hear something not only of who you are, but of both what you are becoming and what you are failing to become. It can be pretty depressing business all in all, but if sackcloth and ashes are at the start of it, something like Easter may be at the end. Thank you, Frederick Buechner. Look forward to seeing you all soon, my friends. Bye-bye.